With thunder in my boots, felt something moving through me right down to the roots. Like the ground remembered something my mind forgot. Like a fire that went to sleeping but never really stopped. My hands were shaking before I touched the strings, but the moment that I did, boy, I remembered everything. Some people find their church on Sunday morning pew. Me, I find mine anywhere this music tells the truth. You can take my money, you can take my name, but you can't take this feeling that runs right through my veins. I was born under a Texas sky, where the lightning hits the ground and the sparks don't die, where the blues ain't just a feeling, it's the way you survive. I was born under a Texas sky. And brother, that's why I'm still alive. Now I've been broken cities where nobody knew my name. Slipped in my car in Dallas in a January rain. But I never once considered laying down my hand, because somewhere in the music I could still find who I am. I loved a woman so completely that it rearranged my bones. She left on a Tuesday and I played guitar till Thursday morning alone. But every note I bent that week taught me something else you couldn't, about what a man holds on to when he knows he probably shouldn't. You can have the easy road, you can have the smooth and clear. I'll take the rocky bottom, cause the blues was born right here. I was born under a Texas sky, where the lightning hits the ground and the sparks don't die, where the blues ain't just a feeling, it's the way you survive. I was born under a Texas sky. And brother, that's why I'm still alive. Well, the road don't end it just changes what it's called. And the man who never stumbled never learned to walk at all. I've got calluses on calluses and stories in my skin. Every single one of them says get back up again. My daddy played this music on a porch without a screen. Said, son, the notes don't matter near as much as what they mean. Play something true, play something that you actually live. The blues will give you everything, but first you gotta give. You know what the blues really is? It ain't sad. It never was. It's what happens when a person takes everything that tried to break them and plays it back as music. It's proof, living, breathing proof, that you were here and you felt it and you made it through. And tonight, every single one of us made it through. Texas sky, where the lightning hits the ground and the sparks don't die, where the blues ain't just a feeling, it's the way you survive. I was born under a Texas sky. Lord, I was born under a Texas sky, where the truth my grandfather's hands built something from the ground. Everybody ever nailed still standing sound. I used to think that legacy was something you were given. Now I know it's just the proof that you kept living when the reasons all wore thin. Kept going till the going was itself the win. I have stood where the light don't reach, in the space between what I am and what I preach. Every man has got that room inside where he keeps the things he can't let anyone decide. But the door swings open when you stop fighting it, and the darkness ain't so dark once you admit you've been carrying a wall that was already done. You've been hiding from a storm that had already run.
Woke up Tuesday with my boots still on the floor. Coffee cup half empty, same crack beside the door. Drove my truck down to the river where I used to go and think. Watch the muddy water moving, wonder what's a link between the man I was before the fall and this stranger staring back against the waterfall. My daddy said the river never stops for anyone, but it carries what you give it, even after you've come undone. I ain't looking for a miracle, I ain't asking for a sign, just a little room to straighten out what I bent over time. There's a fire in the river, it don't burn, it shines. It's the light that lives below the surface, running through the lines. Every broken thing I carried, every road I ran along, that fire in the river been waiting to carry me back home. Oh, to carry me back home. Met a woman at the crossroads, not the devil, just a friend. She said, baby, hard beginnings don't have to mean hard ends. I laughed because I needed to, then I cried because it's true. Took me 40 years of running just to find what I already knew. The ground beneath you stumbling is the same ground, hold your stand, and the scar that you've been hiding is the map drawn by your own hand. I ain't looking for forgiveness from anything I can't change, just a little fire to walk by through the dark of this long, long rain. Every line with a new singing, every line with a new singing. There's a fire in the river, it don't burn, it shines. There's a light that lives below the surface, running through the lines. Every broken thing I carried, every road I ran along, that fire in the river been waiting to carry me back home. Oh, then to carry me back home. Oh. I've seen the sunrise come over red, over fields I thought were dead. Turns out the soil just needed rain, and a man can do the same. I don't need to outrun what I've done, I just need to face the morning sun. Every river finds finds the sea eventually. And I believe that river's still in me. That river's still in me. There's a fire in the river, it don't burn, it shines. There's a light that lives below the surface, running through the lines. Every broken thing I carried, every road I ran alone, that fire in the river been waiting. Lord, it's been so long, it's been waiting to carry me back home. There's a fire in the river, it don't burn, it shines. It's a light that lives below the surface, running through the lines. She's standing at the window with her tea gone cold, watching the garden do whatever gardens do. She doesn't know I'm looking, she's just standing there. And I forget every complicated thing I know. She laughs at things that happened 15 years ago, like they're still funny, and somehow they still are. She keeps the house in a particular way that I would never notice if she stopped, but I would feel it every single day. I don't have the words, nobody does. You just hope they know. Somehow they just know. She's still the one I see when the room is full of everyone. Still the one I see when the long day is finally done. I don't need the whole wide world, I just need where she is. She's still the one. She always will be. She's still the one I see. She's still the one I see. Some nights we don't even need to talk. We just exist inside the same four walls. And I think that's the whole thing. I think that's what everyone is looking for. And most people never say it out loud. People ask what's the secret, there isn't one. You just keep choosing the same person every ordinary morning, and one day you look up and that's your whole life right there, and it's everything. is full of everyone, still the one I see. When the long day is finally done, I don't need the whole wide world, I just need where she is. She's still the one. She always will be, she's still the one I see. Still the one I see. She keeps the letters in a shoebox under the bed. 40 years of somebody else's life and me. I asked her once why she never threw them out. She said some things you keep so you remember how to feel. Worked the same down counter 37 years. Knew every regular by name and by their trouble. She'd pour your coffee before you asked. Said reading people was the only book she ever finished. Her hands were maps of everything she'd carried. Every knuckle had a season and a reason. I asked her once what she would do differently. She looked at the window for a long time, and then she said nothing, just laughed. The kind of laugh that's lived somewhere below the jokes. The kind that knows something laughing can't explain. There's a moment right before the answer comes, when the question hangs there beautiful and whole. And she lives in that moment like a country, like she found the thing the rest of us are looking for. She don't need saving, she already found what saving's for. She don't need answers, she made friends with what she doesn't know. Walked through every fire without armor, came out warm instead of cold. She don't need saving, she's the whole story being told. My father never told me that he loved me. He showed me with a handshake and a nod. The quietest man in every room he entered, carried everything he felt like contraband. Watched him fix the same back fence for 30 years, the only sermon that the man would ever give. I thought I'd do it differently, do it louder. Took me 40 years to see the life he lived. And now I'm standing at a fence I keep repairing, and my hands look like his hands in the light. And I don't know if that's a thing to grieve, or if that's just the sun finally getting it right. I carry him in the way I hold a door, in the way I fix a thing before it breaks, in the silence where I should have said I love you, in the silence that I finally understand. I carry him in everything I make. mother's patience in my restlessness. I catch myself going quiet when I should speak, and I hear my father's silence in my chest. So I say it now, I say it plain, I say it often, even when the words feel strange inside my mouth. Because a handshake and a nod is not enough, son, even if you come from people who don't say it out loud. There's a generation of us raised by men who were raised by silence, who were raised by men who came back from things they were never allowed to name. And somewhere in that long, unbroken quiet, love was being passed hand to hand, like something too valuable to say aloud. And it got here, it got to you, even if you had to figure out the shape of it yourself. Chevelle and a half a tank of gas. Boss man called at 8, I let that phone call pass. Coffee on the counter and my boots beside the door. Been working 20 years, ain't got nothing left to work for. Foreman got a new truck parked outside the gate. I got blisters on my hands and a reason to be late. Some men live for Mondays, I live for the drive. First cold beer on Friday reminds me I'm alive. Yeah, they can have their 9 to 5. I got my own way to survive. Cheap suit blues ain't got me down. Sharpest broke man in this whole damn town. Little bit of diesel, little bit of nerve, getting everything I came here to deserve. Linda at the diner knows my order by the look. Eggs over easy and whatever's on the hook. She laughs at all my bad jokes, pours the coffee strong. Said, boy, you've been coming in here 20 years too long. I left a good tip and I left my tied pride. Some days the only thing that's free is the road outside. Radio said rain, sky looked clear to me. Drove with the windows down the way that driving ought to be. Yeah, they can have their 9 to 5. I got my own way to survive. Cheap suit blues ain't got me down. Sharpest broke man in this whole damn town. Little bit of diesel, little bit of nerve, getting everything I came here to deserve. Smelling like his fears. He never once complained, never once explained. Just hung his jacket up and weathered every rain. I used Used to think that made him small, now I think that made him tall. There's a kind of quiet dignity in carrying it all. Got his watch upon my wrist, got his stubborn in my chin. Every time I think about quitting, I think about him. Yeah, they can have their 9 to 5. I got my own way to survive. I don't need the fancy things, I don't need the silver ring. Just a running engine and an open sky. Cold drink in the summer, warm fire in the night. Something worth driving toward before I say goodbye. Cheap suit blues ain't got me down. Toughest working man in this whole damn town. Little bit of diesel, little bit of nerve, getting everything I came here to deserve. Yeah, cheap suit blues, I wear mine with a grin. Broken, unbothered, going out the same way I came in. Yeah, yeah, cheap suit blues. Yeah, cheap suit blues. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. She walked in at 11 when the room had given up. What a kind of quiet that fills every cup. Didn't look for nobody, nobody looked away. Some women change the weather, she changed the whole day. I've been in that bar 3 years, every Friday the same. Knew every crack in every glass, every face, every name. She sat by the window like she'd always been there, and everything I thought I knew walked out into the air. I didn't say a word that night, didn't need to say a thing. Some moments speak so loud, silence is the only offering. River woman, running deep and still. Black river woman, you know that you will. Can't cross that water, can't read that tide. Black river woman, I already tried. On a Sunday in the rain, standing at a crossroads, like she'd done this before again. She smiled the way the rivers smile at stone. Said, honey, you look like someone In a one-way road, got a landlord with a bad attitude and a heavy load. My dog ran off on Monday, my luck ran off on Tuesday. By Wednesday I was talking to a bottle named Rose. I walked into a poker game with my last 20 bucks. Walked out with a broken nose and a truck full of what? The bartender said, son, you got a gift for losing things. I said, yeah, I even lost a good sense God gave me. But I ain't dead yet, still got 2 good boots, still got 1 bad habit and 1 more thing to lose. Bad luck and gasoline, that's all that's running through my veins. Bad luck and gasoline, I've been burning down my own parade. Every town I roll into already knows my name. Bad luck and gasoline, I wouldn't have it any other way. Hey! I had a good woman once, Lord, she was something fine. She left me for a dentist somewhere around 89. Can't blame her, really. I was never really home. Some men are built for loving, I was built for the road alone. 3 cities in a week in a tank running low, eating gas station food, watching 18-wheelers go. Some preacher on the radio said, son, you need to pray. I turned it up and drove faster, that's just my natural way. Now they say what don't kill you makes you stronger. I say what don't kill you just ain't tried hard enough yet. Been broke in 14 states, hung over in 15, still the meanest, happiest man you ever gonna see. Gasoline, church standing, that ought to count for something fine. I got a reputation, follows me like a shadow in the sun. In every town I ever loved, I overstayed my fun. 3 women hate my name, 2 more just hate my face, and 1 still keeps my jacket, which I call a personal disgrace. But here I am again, rolling into town. Same $2 in my pocket, same sun going down. 1 more town to ruin, 1 more bar to drain, 1 more good woman's patience, 1 more midnight train. I've been doing this since forever, Lord, I can't explain. 1 more town to ruin, here I come again. Once I swear I didn't know. By the time they threw me out, I'd eaten half the food and half the show. The groom shook his fist, the bride just laughed and waved. I consider that a victory, I consider myself saved. I had a job for 3 whole weeks in 1989. Showed up mostly on time, kept mostly out of line. Boss said, son, you got potential. I said, sir, that's my disease. Potential is just trouble that ain't found its moment yet, if you please. Now some men leave behind them children, churches, deeds. I leave behind me bar tabs and a trail of unpaid fees. But every town remembers me, and that ain't nothing small. Some men leave behind them nothing, I leave behind them all. One more bar to drain, 1 more good woman's patience, 1 more midnight train. I've been doing this since forever, Lord, I can't explain. 1 more town to ruin, here I come again.
worked the same land 40 years. Came home every night with dirt and quiet tears. Never said much, but his hand said it all. Built everything we had from nothing, standing tall.
thing that made me who I am. Took me 20 years to understand. Take you out in summers, bring you back. Some bridges burn so bright they light the darkest black. I walk the fire just to find my way to the only place that ever made me wanna stay. This is my dirt road testament. Every scar in my heaven sent. He's out now, I swear a second lamb. This is where I lost and where I found my dirt road testament. Mama kept a photo on the kitchen wall. Me and her and Daddy, I remember every fall. Every Sunday morning, every summer storm. Everything I am came from that front porch warm. Lost a brother to a road he couldn't leave. Still wear his old jacket every time I grieve. Some debts you carry and some debts you pay. Some faces never really go away.
I left that town on a Tuesday with $40 and a name. Nobody saw me going, and nobody knew I came. The highway doesn't ask you what you're running from or to. Just opens up its long gray arms and swallows you whole. 3 years in a city that was never mine to keep. Working other people's dreams while mine were fast asleep. Then something in a jukebox hit me somewhere in my chest. A song I didn't know told me to head back west. The road don't care about your reasons. The road just takes you where you bleed. And every mile I put behind me was a mile closer to what I need. I'm running back to something I was too young to name. I'm burning through the darkness and I'm glad I came. The fire that I left there is still burning good and bright. I'm coming on the long way through the middle of the night. My father from a payphone in the rain. He didn't say a word, just breathed my name. I heard a whole apology in that one quiet sound. Two men who never learned to say, I'm glad you're still around. The years between us were a language neither spoke. Silence on the line, and something finally broke. The road don't care about your reasons. The road just takes you where you bleed. And every mile I put behind me was a mile closer to what I need. I'm running back to something I was too young to name. I'm burning through the darkness and I'm glad I came. back to something I was too young to name. I'm burning through the darkness and I'm glad I came. The fire that I left there is still burning good and bright. I'm coming home the long way through the middle of the night. Yeah, I found a thing I left there, have been waiting in all along. Home ain't where you come from, home is where you're strong. The road has had its way with me and now I've had my say. I'm coming on the long way and I'm almost there today. Complete silence, 3/4 beats, pure anticipation.